6 months ago, a penthouse on Palm Jumeirah sold for over $40 million. Now, in that same skyline, units are quietly being listed at prices that don't make sense anymore. And almost nobody is talking about it. Not the influencers. Not the headlines. Not even the people who were screaming buy now just a year ago. Because the ones who understand what's happening, they're already gone. Dubai was supposed to be untouchable. A city built out of nothing, literally carved into the ocean. A place that convinced the world it had figured out the formula for unlimited growth. But behind the glass towers and perfect Instagram shots, something is breaking. And the question is no longer what happened. The real question is Dubai the first domino? Or just the loudest one? Because to understand what's happening now, you have to understand the dream that sold the world. Dubai didn't grow slowly. It exploded. From a desert economy in the 90s to a global financial hub in just a few decades. No income tax. No capital gains tax. A government that moves faster than most companies. It built icons like the Burj Khalifa. Artificial islands like Palm Jumeirah. Luxury experiences in a place where summer heat can melt asphalt. And the message was simple. This place doesn't follow the rules. Money flows here. Opportunity grows here. Prices only go one way. By 2022, that belief turned into a full-blown frenzy. Investors weren't just buying property. They were buying the story. Buyers from Russia, China, India, Europe, and the US poured in. Some never even visited the property. They bought off-plan. Before construction. Before foundations. Just based on trust. And hype. But that boom had a hidden engine. And it wasn't just growth. It was money. A lot of money. Fast money. Foreign capital searching for safety, privacy, and speed. Crypto profits. Sanctioned wealth. Global investors looking for somewhere easy to park millions. Dubai became that place. But then, that money started disappearing. In late 2023, something changed quietly. The UAE was placed on the FAF gray list. It didn't trend. It didn't go viral. But inside the financial world, it changed everything. Banks suddenly had to ask more questions. Transactions slowed down. Transfers faced scrutiny. The system that once felt frictionless now had resistance. And then came the second hit. Pressure from Western financial systems. New rules. More compliance. More hesitation. And suddenly, moving money into Dubai wasn't as easy as before. But that was just the beginning. Because the real shock came next. The buyers didn't just slow down. They vanished. Crypto investors who fueled a massive portion of luxury demand got wiped out when markets crashed. From billions in liquidity to survival mode almost overnight. At the same time, politically exposed money started facing pressure. Accounts questioned. Transfers delayed. Confidence shaken. And when confidence disappears in a market built on momentum, everything changes. But here's the part nobody wanted to say out loud. Demand wasn't the biggest problem. Supply was. While everyone was focused on rising prices, developers were building. And building. And building. Hundreds of thousands of new units. Luxury towers. Villas. Branded residences. All assuming one thing. Demand would never stop. But it did. And now, tens of thousands of finished units sit empty. Lights off. No tenants. No buyers. Just silence inside billion-dollar skylines. And the system behind it starts to look fragile. Because many of these projects relied on constant new buyers. Deposits funding construction. Future buyers funding past promises. It works perfectly in a rising market. But when the cycle turns, it gets dangerous. And then the income side collapsed too. Rental yields, once the biggest selling point, dropped fast. From high single digits to levels that barely justify the risk. At the same time, Costs didn't drop. Service fees, maintenance, cooling costs in extreme heat. Owners holding empty properties weren't just waiting. They were losing money every single month. And that leads to one thing: forced selling. Quiet at first, then faster, then everywhere. But here's where the story gets bigger than Dubai. Because this pattern is repeating globally. Miami, Lisbon, Singapore, different cities, same story. A wave of global wealth searching for safety. Prices shooting up. Developers rushing to build. Government stepping in. Buyers pulling back. Supply flooding the market. And prices starting to crack. It's not a coincidence. It's a cycle. And Dubai just happens to be the most visible version of it. But there's one more layer most people don't see. Control. Dubai cannot afford panic. Its entire economic model depends on confidence. So the narrative stays clean. Listings show asking prices, not real selling prices. Data comes with delays. Distress stays quiet. And the image remains intact, at least on the surface. Because underneath, the story is very different. Now let's be clear. Dubai is not disappearing. It has infrastructure, global positioning, and serious financial backing. If stability needs to be engineered, there are tools to do it. But that doesn't protect everyone. Because the real risk isn't the billionaires. It's everyone else. The mid-level investor. The overseas buyer. The person who believed the promise. They don't have safety nets. They have contracts and assets that may not recover anytime soon. And that leads to the real question. When global money moves this fast, who actually carries the risk? Because what happened here isn't just about real estate. It's about how modern markets work. Hype becomes strategy. Speed replaces caution. And perception becomes reality. Until it doesn't. And when that shift happens, it happens fast. The next domino might already be moving. Most people just can't see it yet. So now I want to hear your perspective. Is Dubai heading toward a deeper correction? Or will it stabilize before things get worse? Drop your honest take below. And if you want more breakdowns like this, real insights behind global markets, make sure you're subscribed. Because the next story might be even bigger than this one.